Hey all, welcome back to day 3 at the 2025 Mustang Classic. This will be the second day of competition, and our class of the day was working equitation. So I was just filming the sunrise. It looked very interesting with all the fog. We got to the horse park and got everyone fed, and they went out for a walk while I picked some stalls. Then I got Vero braided, and Elisa braided his tail.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I've never braided a tail before. Then we went to the working equitation course walk, and I ended up walking the whole course multiple times. I had never competed in working equitation before. Of course, we were able to go to a clinic, which is very helpful, but it is a lot to take in when you're starting to map out your course in the actual arena for the first time. Start, single, double, whatever. Do that. Drums, circle, right, left, right, and then I'm gonna canter all the way around. For those of you who aren't familiar with working equitation, you're given the order that you have to do the obstacles in, but it's up to you to pick which direction you take to the next obstacle. There are certain rules you have to follow, but for the most part, you can generally pick your path. Bend this out a lot. Pick up my canter in time for the cross rail. Hopefully I land in the canter. If not, I do a circle and show some canter before 6. And then do my figure 8, exit, going the other way. Show a little left, right, left lead, canter, gate, and then I'm going to, what is 8? 8 is the side possible. So I'm going to do a fun little loop around the gazebo again. Some right lead. I think left lead would be driver. Okay, side pass, far pole to the left facing the judge, step forward, right. So I mostly filmed that for myself to look back on while I was getting myself and my horse ready before actually going to warm up. But I was the most nervous for this class because it is a completely new discipline for me, and it's something that could be a little hit or miss. Sometimes Vero would have a hard time getting scared of the obstacles and the decorations, and sometimes he would nail everything. So it was one of those things that could go either way, and I was just hoping that we could put our best foot forward. Let's go, Boogie! Got to watch some friends go before my round. Boys.
His name is Vero. And Vero is currently 13th in the standings. So Ellen's done just a great job with this horse with a really good go here in the working equitation. We might be able to see her back in the top 10.
We had a lovely warm-up. Going into our round, he felt much more confident than he did showing in the ring the previous day, which is great to see that he was growing in his confidence throughout each class. So after our halt and salute, we had to canter through the start markers, which he showed an impromptu lead change.
And you can see they are starting the first of the obstacles. This is the double slalom, and this is being judged on bend, balance, rhythm, ease of changing of the bend without disrupting the balance, straightness of the horse's body.
And this is where the in-gate video picked up. I wanted to share both the live stream video and the in-gate video because I think that it's fun to show different angles. So between every obstacle in working equitation, you have to show a few strides of canter, and you can pick which direction you're going, but you want to be on the correct lead for whichever direction you choose. Vero was very good. He hasn't seen red barrels with flowers before.
You can't fight Sam.
But he was being very brave. So we chose this line to the next obstacle because we didn't have to go super close to anything that might spook him. And he was giving me such a lovely canter and some nice transitions. I opted to trot into this obstacle because he was feeling brave, and he offered me a lovely square halt. This is one thing we could sometimes have a little bit of trouble with, is that straightness and the one-handed backup. So even though he brushed a pole, it's so much growth for him to be able to brush into a pole with his hind end and not get scared. And at this point, he was just making it feel so easy. I felt like I didn't have to try at all, he just knew the job. Bridges are something that can also scare him, especially with pink flowers on either side. So I just waited patiently and let him decide when it was time to cross.
Yeah, good boy.
I've made the mistake before of panicking and trying to rush a horse onto the bridge that needed more time to think about it. And so I made sure to fix that there and give Vero some more time. And he was very good. He felt really brave and gave a good little leap over that cross rail. Because he landed in the canter, I didn't have to actually pick up the canter before this obstacle. I was able to just break him down to the trot and complete the figure 8. And he was just making it so effortless. The gait is actually one of Vero's strong suits. He's pretty good at it. Now, they had put some spooky banners on it, but he didn't seem to mind very much at all. Now, I tried to hold on to the rope handle until I realized there was going to be no way that he was going to get his head around the post of the gate. And so I moved my hand onto the actual gate, and it ended up being a lot cleaner maneuver. Now in the ease of handling trial, there's no speed involved, and so you're actually meant to hesitate on certain maneuvers and take a breath and show that your horse is calm enough to stand immobile. At this point, I was just having fun. Going into these side pass poles, I had a plan, but when I got in there, I realized it was a little tighter between the obstacle markers to that first side pass pole than I anticipated, and we wound up not set up correctly for that pole. So if I'd been a little bit more patient and a little bit more willing to pivot in my plan, then we might not have knocked over that pole. So that did knock our score down a little bit, but he gave a good effort, and I set him up better for the next pole.
Come on, finish it.
Coming up was the hardest maneuver for Vero and I. This was something that he found particularly spooky, and he had a hard time staying straight, and that is the bull line. So I prepared him by bringing him back to a nice slow jog. I had my reins in one hand, and I set him up as well as I could. However, a little bit of a spook meant that it would have been too far of a reach for me to reach the ring. And while I could have gotten it done, I didn't want to spook him further, because sometimes the sound of the ring going onto the pole would scare him more, and it would make it a less pretty maneuver if he were to spook away from the third barrel. So I chose there to leave the ring alone and just carry on without it. It's actually not a large part of your score, is what I've learned, and so it doesn't matter too much if you miss the ring. Back from working equitation is extra exciting because we've got the youth competition doing handling and conditioning in there. I was wrong. I'm pretty sure a demo is going on. But I was so thrilled with Vero's working equitation round. He could not have been better. He seriously gave me his all, and he gave me the best test that he possibly could have. First prefers water as he gets to his stall, so I've been filling him up a bucket. Vero's gotten so good at all of his ground handling and standing for bass. It used to scare him a little bit with the hose, and especially if I would go all the way back by his hind end to hose him, but he's come a long way. I literally went so fast on the bike to get back in time to watch my sister. There's the famous statue. Let's go. I got to very quietly cheer on Maverick. Grazing you guys is really hard when you go in like a star. Like if you could keep going in a little circle, Rook's going the wrong way. But maybe like a bit of a carousel. Noden, that was a little aggressive, my man.
Oh, they're hugging. It's a light dominance.
It's like, I'm bigger than you. Oh my goodness. They're literally hugging. I think I just don't do it confidently enough. We have Camille, the Fergus Whisperer.
I fed him several treats. So
Oh, well that does help. And then we have William. He literally, I've never seen him so content staying motionless in my entire life. For awards. That trophy was sitting on our tack room shelf for a year. As most of y'all know by now, Vero and I did end up making the finals, and we actually placed 6th in the working equitation and 8th overall in the preliminaries, which is very exciting, and I was so proud of my horse. You know, going into the show, I didn't know if it would be something where he got too nervous by the atmosphere and didn't quite show up as well as he did, but he actually stepped up for me, and he did so well and just improved with every single class. I was so proud of him. I unfortunately do not have a video of the top 10 announcement, although it was live streamed. I don't think it was shared anywhere for us to download, but tears were shed. So as I said, I didn't know if we would make it, so I had a bit of a freestyle and some props and a bit of a costume already in the works, but I ended up finishing everything. I was up until after 2 in the morning that night, prepping everything for the next morning. Alright, well thank y'all so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, which will cover Freestyle Day, and that will be the final video in this show vlog series.